Nidhi ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Namaskar ma'am. Hello.
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 Hello,
And,
ma'am.
Hello.
So ma'am,
Hello.
Nidhi ma'am, this is a very great opportunity that we have right now to be able to introduce Nidhi ma'am and Doma ma'am, and having both of you on the same screen at the same time. It's a real pleasure and privilege for us.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, Nidhi ma'am is Senior Vice President in Rajasthan High Court Bar
I'm
Association at Jaipur. And
okay.
Doma
Yeah.
ma'am is Additional Advocate General of the state of Sikkim. So,
Great.
ma'am, it's also our privilege. It's very humbly our privilege that we are able to have this occasion, and it's a real blessing, ma'am. So, ma'am, the second class with Nidhi ma'am is on the topic of women's rights. So, ma'am, today is devoted to the rights of people in India and how we can promote that. And with Nidhi ma'am's permission, we'll introduce Nidhi ma'am and we'll start with the class.
Yes, thank you, sir. First of all, thank you, sir, for giving me opportunity and for your program. Sir, basically, right now I am a Senior Vice President of Rajasthan High Court Bar Association, as well as right now I am Central Government Advocate of the Rajasthan High Court Bar Association, and I am with some a number of media house and dealing the matters of media house also. Today, we are discussing on the women rights under the Constitution of India, sir. What is the constitutional rights of a woman? First, we know about this. The rights which are given by the Constitution, which is enshrined in the Constitution, are known as the rights for women under the Constitution of India. First thing, and what is the legal right of the women of India? We must understand the legal right of a woman are those rights which are given by the state in the law. The law means, what is the law? State legislature means any act which is particularly a state law, and the right particularly which are enshrined in those very act. So first we should understand what is the constitutional rights and what are the legal rights. Okay. Now, what are the legal rights? What are the legal rights? First, we have to know. Legal rights are those rights. What is the right? Right against the crime, known as a legal right. Right against the dignity is legal right. Now, what is the constitutional rights? Because now my topic is particularly the legal rights under the Constitution of India. Then I should talk about this. First is Article 51. Article 15(1) of always give to the right to the state, and said no state cannot make any discrimination on the ground of sex. कोई भी राज्य आपके जेंडर के अकॉर्डिंग कोई भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं कर सकता. आप बीइंग अ वुमन कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं हो सकता. स्टेट कैन नॉट डू दिस. Again, Article 15(3) of the Constitution of India says that a state are empowered to make specific provisions in relation to the women, specifically for women rights. Means Article 15(3) says that state are empowered, state have power to make a special provision in regard to the women. And these are the Article 15 and 51. We started from these very article because the women rights started from these very article. Particularly one more thing, Article 14, which is very common and which is very famously known. Article 41 is simply equity. All are equal before the law. The simple thing is that Article 14 says about Article 15(1) and 15(3) are specific for the rights of the women. Now, Article 16(2). Article 16(2) says the right in employment. No women can be discriminated on the basis of the sex or gender in any employment. Means a lady, a woman, a girl is free to work anywhere where she want to do. She cannot be discriminated because she has a constitutional right under Article 16(2). Now, somewhere we see the forced labor. Forced labor, women are used to forced labor. But Article 23(1) for the forced labor, specifically to the women. Forced labor are prohibited under Article 23(1). Again, Article 39A. At Article 39A, what says? It says adequate mean to livelihood. It is the state guarantee to give adequate means of livelihood to a women as well as men. It is for men and women equally. For Article 39A, we can understand like this. Article 39A says कि state को livelihood के लिए for a man as well as women, state is responsible. उन्हें इस चीज के लिए अपने हिसाब से अपने सिस्टम में इस चीज को अरेंज करना होगा और लिवलीहुड के लिए उन्हें अरेंज करना होगा एंड women cannot be deprived. Yes. Now Article 51A. 51A is a very much important. 51A says it shall be the duty of every citizen of India duty at see what see Constitution of India specifically make duty bound to each and every citizen of India. What are the duty of each and every citizen of India for the women is to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Means any work, any employment which is derogatory of the respect to the women, they cannot be compelled to do so, because Article 51 specifically prohibited. Article 51A gives a duty to each and every citizen of India. It is a duty of each and every citizen of India, and we must understand about this. Now, Article 243. Article 243 says that the women have all the powers. Now, in the matter of Article 243, I am stating in a specific manner, not in specific manner, in general manner. All women have a right to voting, and they can participate in any election. No discrimination on the basis of gender and sex under Article 243. Now, if we read from top to bottom, Article 15 to 243, what we see that women cannot be deprived from which state cannot be discriminate. State has the power to make specific legislation for the women protection and empowerment, as well as Article 16(2) says that employment, there is equal opportunity to the employment for the women as well as men. No discrimination will be there. Article 23(1) again said forced labor is prohibited as men and as well as women, but in the context of women, we see women cannot be forced to any forced labor. Article 39A particularly says adequate means of livelihood. State has a right, state has a duty bound to give adequate means of livelihood to any citizen of India, which includes women also. It is very pertinent. Now Article 51 confers the right, particularly duty upon the every citizen of India, that they cannot be India to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. So now in present era, what we are seeing, these are some specific provision in general provision of the Constitution of India for the women. Now what we are seeing in present era, there is a number of cases, matters, we see the violence against the women, violence, cruelty, sexual abuse, and human trafficking. How can the Constitution of India stop these type of crimes? Particularly how? It is a very common question. Constitution of India has given a right to the state to make special provision for the women. First of all, means any state of India has right to make a specific provision, means criminal provisions as well as civil provisions. Now, now what we see there are violence against the women, and particularly cruelty, means mental and physical cruelty, human trafficking. What are these? The state has a specific right, like first of all, Article Section 12 of Domestic Violence Act particularly says have a specific right that no woman can be harassed, can be abused by any of her marital relatives, means husband, means mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and close blood relatives. IPC, Indian Penal Code, have specific provision. It's a codified law and have a specific provision to protect the women against the crime. There are a number of crimes against the women, like in larger sense, how can we understand monetary violence? What is the monetary violence? It's a new term. It's new term. So monetary violence can understand by this: a lady who is earning a lot usually didn't get usually doesn't get a specific recognition in this era. Why? Because the friends and family and relatives can't see her success. In sometimes we see, and she's abused for getting her money, getting her position. By it's monetary violence, it's new term, and the state should understand this type of violence. Physical violence everyone knows, mental violence everyone knows, but what is monetary violence? We should understand there are a number of matter and increasing pertains to the monetary violence. It is new term, but it's not it's new term for says for to define the violence, but it's not new for all, because the women, those are monetary rich or well settled, are not particularly settled in so many terms, because they are abused, still they are abusing. Why? Because social protection is not given to the lady. State are totally failure to give the social protection. What is social protection? Social protection means the protection which is enshrines the law, for protection which are enshrines in number of legislatures, number of law, particularly Article 21. Article 21 of the Constitution of India says protection to the life. Article 21 is Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India matter reported in AIR 1971, specifically deals with the protection to each and every citizen of India. Citizen of India includes men and women both. Then why the women are deprived from that from the privilege of Article 21? Why? Because the state does not uh, uh, fulfill these parameters of the protections. What we see, the number of 482s means the criminal business petitions are pending before the courts seeking the protections, specifically in the matter of marriages, love marriages, as well as the consent marriages. Why? Because state are failure to meet the ends of the Article 21. We should understand It's not a duty to the specifically the book or the we say our granth of Constitution of India, but it's a duty to each and every person, particularly state. The state, I can understand the number of there is a law and order. This is a duty to make a balance and to make up to maintain the law and order in the particular state, but it doesn't mean to ignorance any right enshrined in Constitution of India by the state. Again, now we should go for IPC, Indian Penal Code, have which deals with the criminal provisions against the women, like dowry death, like uh, mm, dowry demand, like murder, like rape, and POXO Act, particularly for a minor girl. A minor girl. These are the state legislation, but having these number of state legislations we have around in any in every state in the India, but what we see, crimes are increasing. Why? What is the reason for increasing these type of crimes? Having a mm, pan, panologically we can say legislature. Why? Because state can make only law, but we must understand it's a duty to every person, every citizen of India to protect the lady, particularly women, because a Constitution of India confers the duty to each and every citizen. Citizen means which includes women also. It's not a particularly for male. It is only it is with women also, that they must give a respect, give a dignity, give a honor to a lady. First, it's come from a family. The family must understand the respect, the law about the women, particularly for protection and honor, as well as for employment. Now we will go for now again we go ahead for the society. First, the family teach about all these aspect, about the respect, about the employment, about the honor of a lady. Then it will become a civilized society. It's duty of a society. State is totally helpless. Why? Because the societies are not cooperating to the state legislature. It's duty of each and every person to understand the law, to understand the nature of the law. Now we are coming forward, and we will talk about the POXO. What is the act? It is deal for the minor girl, sexual abuse of the minor girl. Now, what we see when the role of crime for the role of law is start, when there is some crime has already been happened or has been done, then law it's there are a number of medias and persons that क्या कर रहे थे आप, क्या था आपका कानून, इस तरह की चीजें हम सुनते हैं. But ये कहना कि कानून का काम बाद में शुरू होता है, it is not a way to talk. But कानून तो पहले से चलता है. How? Now, then we have to understand the Constitution of India, which which again says and again confers and number of provisions confers the right and right to the women and the referred duty to the citizen of India. But we can't understand. And in my opinion, in school level, from the school level, girls and boys Both were educated for for their legal rights. The legal right subject must be incorporated with the 8th or 9th or 10th standard so that girls will become aware about their right and boys become very much aware about the results of the offenses, about the results of the heinous crime. It must be learned, it must be incorporated with the subjects. A specific subject must be introduced with a school level. It's my opinion, general opinion, because our we used to dealing in constitution and so many laws, but make for the women right. POSCO Act. POXO Act का हम देखें तो article sorry section 3 to 8 or 9 are much important because they says they confers the duty and they uh, alarming alarms about the results of a crime, sexual crime made to the minor girl. They says if a minor girl sexually abused by any person, he must be punished with, he shall be punished with 20 more than 20 years imprisonment or the imprisonment for death. It must be understood. But we see is that the provisions of POXO Acts are so strict. That's why nowadays what we see after a rape, murder is done, so that there will be not any evidence against the accused. Then we must also aware about this lacuna of this provision of the provision of POXO Act because provisions are very strict undoubtedly, and we appreciate the efforts of the state government. But now we same time we must the results of these provisions that girls are dying, girls are murdered by these accused because they are very much afraid that if she would be she will be remain alive, then she will the evidence against her she will make and she will go before the court. That's why the murder cases are rape and murder cases are now increasing. Now the state should and the society should, the person should, the citizen should understand about the duties, about the results of the crimes. First, IPC. IPC under section 376, there are so many changes after the Nirbeha case in the year 2020 to 2013 or 12. The strict provisions are much strict than former. Now, the imprisonment are higher than before. And 376 is a new form, in very alarming form. But sir, no law can stop the offense because it's a duty of a man. It's a duty of psychological mind. We must understand that the women have same blood. Women have same sense. Women have same right of which the men have. They cannot be discriminated on the ground of particularly sex or gender. They have the all right in employment. They have all they cannot be forced for any employment which is derogatory to the respect. And women should must understand about their rights. It's not a it cannot said that all things should be understood by the male or the different section of the society. It must be, and women must be aware about their right. If they are very much aware their right, then no one can suppress them, no one can harass them. Then in nutshell, I can say the Constitution of India is a bulk of our rights, or it's a concept of beginning of the law of, is a concept of the or basic law. This says which empowers each and every state to make certain provisions to protect the women, to enshrines the law, to make the provisions for the women. Undoubtedly, states are doing well in present era, but state should do some. I can understand. State must understand that now present era where the cyber crime are increasing, where the other crimes are increasing, then in that way, in each and every police station, there should be cyber cell. There should be a cyber expert must be there, because now we all new generations are very much adequated with the new technology, the new particular new apps and new mobiles and new new technology. Then each and every police station must be equipped with the all technology and cyber expert. And the state should understand about these necessity which is arising in the present era. Crime is different thing, and to stop the crime is different thing. To stop the crime, the state must understand now they must be equipped with the higher technology, with they must be equipped with the means much higher all the equipment and the cyber experts. And in town level, in a village level, at least two cyber experts must be there to stop the all these type of crimes against the women, because number it is one report says now last 5 years cyber crime are much higher against the women. Then we should understand about the present necessity of cyber experts and about the awareness of cyber law. Cyber law is totally handicapped without the cyber experts, without the help of cyber experts. Cyber expertization is different issues, and we must recruit the cyber expert, means the person who are the IT specialist, those who know about the all the technology of uh, information technology. In present era, police stations are not equipped with these type of facility. Why? State must understand and make a specific law. But we are failing. That's why the crimes are increasing and increasing in numbers. It is not against the women. In general way, we see fraud, cheating, and many of crimes we see. mm, the cyber experts are required. Then state should alter the law, and there must be provision for cyber experts, in my opinion. Again, it is reiterated that without the help of cyber expert, we cannot meet the end of justice in present era. And central government as well as state government should understand the meat of the particularly arising demand necessity of the law. Again, I would like to focus on the Article 15(1) of the Constitution of India. 15(1), 15(3) says no women can be discriminated on the ground of gender. 15(3) says state has a power to make any specific provision pertaining to the women. Women means any specific rights, any specific law the state has a power to make, then why there is lack of cyber expertise? Minor girls are missing. Police are totally failure to find out. Human trafficking as human trafficking is in higher level, but police is totally slipping away because we don't have any IT expert in any. We don't have any specialization in cyber law. Why? It should be incorporated from school level. It should be incorporated in university level, college level. One must understand all the technicalities about the cyber law. State is totally helpless. The state is totally helpless without the help of information technology. We have a number of computers, we have a number of laptops, we have a number of apps, but we are still fail. We must understand. Again, Constitution of India is enough, having enough stuff about the pertaining to the law or relating to the women, their rights, their protection, their privileges, and their duties, as well as their rights. But we are totally fail. State is totally fail. Society is totally fail, and the family is totally fail to protect the women. It's not a duty of a particular law or constitution. It's a duty of every citizen. See, Article 51A says it's a duty to every citizen of India to protect a woman. But it should be understood in not a specific manner, but in a general manner. A society, we talk about a society doing this and doing that. What is society? We are society. I'm society. My family society, and hope we all are connecting this app or forum. We are society. Then we must understand the rights of the constitution and the rights of state legislation. Any question?
Ma'am, how would I say? I want to thank you first of all from the bottom of my
Thank you,
heart
sir.
and on behalf of all the participants who are present today. And ma'am, you just jumped into the topic, but I really want to thank you for one more thing. Before I come to what you've said and shared with us so far, that ma'am was also, she was, there was some medical reason due to which ma'am had to manage so much today. Yet she insisted that she will take the class today itself, and so it is due to her. I would say again her championship of the entire concept of not just the idea of sharing law or sharing her knowledge, but also of the fact of meticulous work and work spirit. So I really want to congratulate ma'am and thank ma'am for that.
Thank you, sir.
And ma'am, very insightful, very practical, and very detailed. It your session has been, and ma'am, it has raised such important questions, and not one but way too many, ma'am. At least in my head. And ma'am, so before I start taking my questions, I want to ask everyone that please, if you have any questions, either raise your hand or share them in the chat box so that the same may be asked to ma'am. Uh, in the meanwhile, ma'am, I'll just read. There is this one comment, I think, from Mr. Himanshu. He says, unless and until the derogatory and inhuman customs and practices like symbolic burning of Holika Kanyadan, I think this is getting very in depth. Voluntary donating daughters by their guardians in marriage, infanticide, dowry practices of society which discriminate, enslave, dehumanize women stop. No amount of legal safeguard can ensure justice to them. So I think Himanshu ji is also speaking. Ma'am, it was a very motivating speak speech that you have shared with us, your thoughts. And I think this is how everyone feels right now who's in the class, that there are very important aspects that you have highlighted. So, ma'am, I want to start from the very beginning with respect to my questions. So, ma'am, you mentioned something about the inherent family structure itself. कि घर के अंदर ही अगर एक लड़की कुछ अच्छा कर रही होती है तो उसको दबाने की कोशिश करते हैं,
Right.
चाहे वो बेटी हो, चाहे वो बहू हो, चाहे वो किसी भी तरीके से परिवार के अंदर है. एंड आई एम नॉट जनरलाइजिंग, मैं सबके साथ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. ऑब्वियसली देयर आर लीडर्स एंड चैंपियंस, आप भी उनमें से एक हैं जो कि आज आपने इतना अकम्प्लिशमेंट किया है, विच इज मोटिवेशन फॉर सो मेनी यंग वुमेन. बट मैम, क्या ये आज की डेट में भी होता है? इज इट स्टिल ट्रू फॉर टुडे?
Yes, yes. Sir, it is reducing in present era, but it is still prevailing because a number of matters I'm dealing with, I see the women are suppressed. They are very much tortured by the family, and they are growing. Undoubtedly, they are doing very well. Particularly, I am saluting all women, those who are balancing the family and their work balance, their colleagues. They are doing very well, undoubtedly. But we must support women. I can't say that they want some specific support system, but we must understand the psychology of a woman. They are very good. They are very good financier. They are very good manager, in my opinion, because I'm dealing with a number of family matters. I'm dealing with a number of constitutional matters, particularly the issues pertains about the same women rights and women legislatures pertaining to the women. And I see women are still are struggling for their right. It is very surprising why they are struggling in this era where we loudly and we are loudly uh, spoken for a women right. In every half an hour we seek women right. It is not a matter to grave the right, but it's a matter to alarming all the people about their right. It's alarming stage. Why it is so why these are these all uh, bloody kind of incident are happening. Why? Because families are still sleeping, society is still sleeping. A lady or a girl roaming in the roaming or walking in a street path is abused, and everybody is silent and seeing. Why? Because everybody is so much afraid that if we will save the girl, then the person will can beat me and can kidnap me, because we are going through such type of what I can say. It's very depressing. It's very unfortunate situations we are seeing. And no, I'm not alone which who seeing this. I hope each and every persons have faced these situations. The atmosphere which is arising. Why? Because now families are not responsible. They say no, we are not. हम नहीं जानते हमारे बच्चे कहाँ जाते हैं. Society is not responsible. कानून घर से ही शुरू होता है और घर पर ही खत्म होता है. In my opinion, we must learn our kiddos, our child, our family members. It's duty to it's a duty of the women. She must understand. She must aware the husband, her child, and other family members. It's duty. It's my duty. It's your duty. It's duty of everyone to learn, to aware about the rights of the women. If we started to do this, definitely in 5 years we will see the decreasing of number of the crimes. In my opinion.
Definitely, ma'am. It's very again, ma'am. I'm just getting way too many questions right now. There is a question from Miss Himani Kharai. Himani, would you want to ask the question now?
Yeah, sure. Hello, ma'am. It was very enlightening and a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm at a very confusing state, as beyond the real world, there is a virtual world which exists now.
Right.
And with the increase in digital presence of people, there have been rise in online threats, online stalking, harassments, extortion, mostly for women. And due to this type of abuse, some women have resorted to self-censorship or have disengaged from online platforms. So, ma'am, how far is IPC, constitutional law, or POCSO is playing its part in dealing with it, and what are your views on cyber laws related to it?
See, these type of stalking and these type of chatting or substance on the visual platform we usually see, there is law. There is specific law we must understand. No woman can be abused in any manner whatsoever. Constitution of India and enlighten about these particularly demands. Now we see the cyber law in this connection. Cyber law where right has a section 61, 60 to 66. There are a number of provisions to we can place the FIR or place the report before the competent authority. And again, it is important. One thing we must know, and it is very important. Usually people say we have a right for freedom to speech. What is the freedom to speech? Yes, undoubtedly there is a freedom of speech under the Constitution of India, but it didn't say that any speech which harass, which derogate respect or honor of a woman can be honored, can be given a preference, or can be given applauded. No, it is not a right to speech, freedom of speech. If a woman have any complaint about any comment about any public comment or stalking on social media, she have a right, equal right under the provisions of IPC, and you are free to go and to go competent authority to place a FIR or any complaint. Do not fear. Do not become so much afraid about that. How can I do? How should I do? You are free. See, a Constitution of India, cyber law, IT Act, and IPC. They combinedly have some protections for a woman, and they have given a strict provisions against the respect, against the dignity of a woman. No one can abuse, no one can disregard to you.
Thank you very much for the enlightenment, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there are two questions more. One is from Miss Poonam Jha. Ma'am, would you want to ask the question? Poonam ma'am, would you want to ask the question, or should I ask on your behalf? Okay, so I will ask ma'am on her behalf. So she is saying women need to raise the questions regarding this issues. Nice topic, okay, ma'am. So I think she is complimenting you. Well explained. Society need to encourage such a matter into society. Crimes like acid attack, rape, abuses. Women need to speak and come in front to deal. Nowadays, it's happening in social media, and law is available, but needs to put on motions through action. Awareness required. Be fearless regarding such issues. Definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, there is another question from Mr. Yagna Dutt. Yagna sir, would you want to ask your question?
You can ask directly.
Right.
Okay, so ma'am, Yagna sir asks how to deal with cruelty and torture meted out to women behind the four walls, and any remedial measures in this regard.
Definitely said, sir. Sir, it's a cruelty around the wall, behind the wall. And how can we stop it? Now issue is dead. And number of matters I'm dealing with such type of complaints, such type of matters, such type of petitions. The victim should enlighten and enlarge the voice against the cruelty, because any crime which is behind or surrounding the wall cannot be circulated to all. It is only victim who can raise the voice against such violence, or the neighbor, those know about these type of harassment can complain. They have duty mind to aware about the duty about the rights of a woman. But particularly in these matters, only women and only victim can raise the voice. But undoubtedly, she has a many right. Any victim has a many right. She can place a report before the police station. She can file a complaint
Complaint.
before the concerned magistrate. She has many right, but she should be aware to raise the voice high.
So most definitely, ma'am, and
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am, it's been really very empowering, I think, personally for everyone. I would say not just for women, but for men, as you very rightfully pointed out in your the speech itself, that if laws are made aware to people, to children during school, then girls will get to know what their rights are, what their powers are, and boys will get to understand that where exactly their limitations are and where
Right.
they should or where they need to stop with respect to everything. And I think that is in general what I would personally want to take away from this class. And it has been really insightful, really enlightening.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Really very grateful to you, ma'am, for taking this
Thank you,
time
sir.
out today, and that too in such circumstances, how it played out in itself. So it's a blessing to us, and I thank you on behalf of
Thank you.
all of our
Thank you, sir.
participants and our small family of community class classmates.
Very much
So
grateful to you, sir.
it's really very great, ma'am, to have you.
Sir, sir.